businesses, we just need your certificate of incorporation as well as an LC.
Small and medium enterprises are key drivers in fostering innovation, wealth and job creation in Africa. In Uganda, over 2.5 million people are employed in this sector, where they account for approximately 90% of the entire private sector, generating over 80% of manufactured output that contributes 20% of the gross domestic product. However, SMEs continue to face challenges in their businesses, according to Wamam Christian, Head of Operations, Chap Africa.
So we deal with small businesses and we try to help them solve many of their challenges, which lead them to failing before their first anniversary. But we can't solve all of them at a go and by ourselves, so we focus on 3 problems. One being access to finance, the other being access to new revenue channels, and the third being access to business tools. So this affects them in 3 ways. One, because they have limited revenue channels, they can't grow as fast as conventional large-scale businesses. To give an example, for a tomato, you make 50 shillings, whereas someone selling airtime is doing 300 shillings within the same transaction. So we want them to be able to access those opportunities to make more money. Secondly, most of these small businesses do not have collateral. They don't have a land title, they don't have a property, and so they can't secure a loan with a bank or a traditional financial institution. With Chap, we use their data. We digitize all their transactions and build a financial profile. And then we look for partners who can use this data to actually provide credit. And in the past 1 year, we've onboarded 2 partners. One focusing on providing loans for digital services, the other financing their traditional business. So if you have a shop, you get a loan for your shop just by using our application. The third is the business tools. So for most small businesses, they don't really understand what's going on in their shop. Their costs are too high. They never know their margins, because they're not very trained in accounting and finance. So most of the time, they treat their sales as profit. With our application, we try to educate them about the difference between your sales, your margins, and your profitability.
Founded in 2016, Chap Africa is a technology fintech based in Uganda, helping small and medium enterprises access microloans, revenue operating stream, and access business tools through Chap application.
And what inspired us to starting it is because one of the founders, our managing director, Mr. Emmanuel Modek, I was his primary teacher, and we became friends because of how he was and how outstanding he was. And then as we talked and shared, he shared with me his life, how he grew up and how he was brought up and raised by the grandmother, how the grandmother was suffering, and how he made it to where he was painfully. And then around there, we felt so passionate, and it was such an emotional moment. Every time we shared his life, it would be emotional. And then we would look at others who are like him in so many aspects. And then we sat and said, why not think of something that can help out that grandmother of yours, that auntie of yours, that woman, and that last person who is struggling to manage, because he had done so many businesses to fend for himself and do other things. So we decided to change his story into something that would impact on other people's lives for a lifetime. And therefore we came up with this idea of building up a solution that would help the last person get included in the financial ecosystem, because we realized these people didn't have any capital, but they were source of all the livelihoods out there in the communities. And so we said, if we come up with something that would empower this last woman, like the grandmother of my partner, then the world would become a better place. And then that's how we came up with the name Chap. And we said Chap, C will stand for creating, A-H will stand for harmony, A will stand for among, then P will be people. Chap stands for creating harmony among people, because we believe that poverty eats the person to the bone, and when it eats the person, it trickles down to the child, then to the community, then to the society. That's why our vision is great, creating great people, great systems, great economy.